Edmund Rice and the 8 Essentials. This is me, and this is Edmund Rice.
About 261 years ago, Edmund Rice was born in Westcourt, Ireland, on the 1st of June 1762. Edmund was born into a farming family with 8 siblings and his parents, Margaret and Robert Rice.
In 1786, Edmund Rice married Mary Elliott. However, she sadly died 4 years later. Edmund's life was never the same. He had always had a compassion for the poor and was an activist for human rights, but now decided to dedicate his whole life to the welfare and education of poor children.
Edmund Rice soon heard about the Presentation Sisters and how they were already educating young girls, and he decided to offer a similar experience for boys.
Edmund Rice came to England in 1825 to make this idea he had a reality. Edmund's first school was in Waterford in 1802. It was in a renovated stable, and he lived in a Spartan loft upstairs. He not only taught the boys, he also set up a bakery and tailor's shop to feed and clothe them. Inspired by Edmund's vision and mission, many volunteers joined him, and together they formed a community called the Christian Brothers. In 1940, the De La Salle brothers of Les Vaux-Barrett College in Guernsey evacuated the island due to the Second World War and re-established their school in our local area. St Ambroise College was officially opened in 1942, named in honour of St Ambroise of Milan, but a nod of thanks to the local bishop, St Ambrose Moriarty. The De La Salle brothers returned to Guernsey following the liberation of the Channel Islands, and in September 1945, at the request of the bishop, the Christian Brothers took responsibility for St Ambrose College. In 1990, the Christian Brothers left St Ambrose. Prior to leaving, the Christian Brothers produced the document, The 8 Essentials of Christian Brother Education. These 8 essentials embody the work of Blessed Edmund Rice and are for both teachers, students and support staff alike, a framework around which to structure their working lives. Number 1. Evangelizing the modern world, participating in the mission of the Catholic Church by bringing the good news of Christ to all aspects of the life of the school community. I think Christ's teachings is at the heart of all that we do, and at St Ambrose we should aspire to follow in the footsteps of Christ. Number 2. Promoting the spiritual. This is done by nurturing a living faith, fostering Christian spirituality, and educating in gospel-based values. I think this means that us as Ambrosians, we will be taught about the gospel by breaking it down and evolving it so that it is relatable to modern-day problems. Number 3. Building a Christian community. As Ambrosians, we will respect one another and grow as a school community while following in the footsteps of Christ. Number 4. Compassion for those in need. I think that what we should do is to follow in the example of the spirit of the Blessed Edmund Rice and help one another, especially those who are in need. Number 5. Concern for the whole person. I think it means that St Ambrose cares for us as individuals and allows us to develop into our own unique characters. Number 6. Striving for excellence. What we need to do is to use our talents to show how unique we are and to reach for the stars. Number 7. Education as a Christian calling. The Christian teachers and support staff will help us as Ambrosians to bond and develop and deepen our bond with God and the Catholic Church. Number 8. Education for justice. Our education is there to inspire us, and our actions and minds will in turn protect God's wonderful creation and kingdom. The colours. The colours used within the crest for each of our 4 houses. The blue for Aquinas, in a memory of St Thomas Aquinas, who was an immensely influential philosopher. The green in the crest is for Augustine, represents St Augustine of Hippo, who was a brilliant scholar. The red is for Ignatius House. This is in memory of Saint Ignatius Loyola, who was committed to living the values of Jesus Christ. Lastly, but not least, my own amazing house, yellow for Newman House, in memory of Blessed John Newman, who was an amazing priest and poet who was devoted to the Catholic Church. The Red Rose of Lancaster. The Red Rose of Lancaster was the heraldic badge adopted by the Royal House of Lancaster. Lancaster's red rose is an official variety and is possibly the first cultivated rose. The rose grows wild throughout Central Asia and was discovered by the ancient Persians and Egyptians, later adopted by the Romans who introduced it to Gaul, aka France, where it got the name Rosa Gallica. John of Gaunt's younger brother Edmund of Langley, 1st Duke of York, adopted the White Rose of York as his heraldic badge. His descendants fought for the control of the throne of England during several decades of civil warfare, which became known as the War of the Roses, between the House of York and the House of Lancaster. After finding Richard III's crown on the battlefield in a thorn bush, Henry VII decided to combine the houses of York and Lancaster together, as well as their roses, to make the Tudor Rose, to restore peace and harmony in January 1486. The new Tudor Rose soon became a symbol of the English monarchy. I think it is on our crest to represent England's rich history, but also how St Ambrose unites us as one big, happy St Ambrose family. The Celtic Cross. In the original foundations of our school, there was a miniature Celtic cross buried, so when our school was rebuilt, it was decided to build it in the shape of a Celtic cross, always reminding us about that original piece of history buried within the foundations of the teachings and practicings of Blessed Edmund Rice. I think the cross is in the centre of our crest because it shows that Christ is at the centre of all that we do and is the light of the world. The Shamrock. A shamrock is a type of clover used as a symbol of Ireland's St Patrick. One of Ireland's patron saints is said to have used it as a metaphor for the Christian Holy Trinity. I think it is on our quest to represent our Blessed Edmund Ignatius Rice's humble beginnings in Ireland. It also symbolises our faith in God our Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit as a representation of the Holy Trinity. The Star of Faith. This 5-pointed radiant star is the worldwide logo of the De La Salle brothers. I think we have it on our quest of recognition of what they did for the creation of our school. This spirit of faith provides us with a spiritual vision for our daily lives. I think this is very important to have this on our quest to remind us of our faith and our lives as Ambrosians. The motto: Vitam imperadere vero, translation: to devote one's life to the truth. When I hear this school's wonderful motto, I think of the gospel and devoting my whole life to Jesus and his teachings. I think it means by learning the truth and expanding my knowledge into a wider range, only then can I get anywhere in life and succeed. The 8 Essentials were reviewed and modified in 2006, though still to this day, the 8 Essentials still provide the controlling principles and objectives of the Edmund Rice schools in England. In conclusion, the 8 Essentials of Edmund Rice and the college crest reflect that St Ambrose College is a loving school that not only teaches us about academic subjects, but also love and kindness too. Blessed Edmund Rice has given us these essentials to frame our foundations on so that we can expand our knowledge as unique individuals, but it also unites us as one family through our faith.